In today's video, I will be sharing with you some tips to look for when choosing a new home neighborhood to build in, as well as what to look out for when choosing a new home builder in the Houston area. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, I release videos every week about new home neighborhoods and the home buying process in and around the Houston suburbs. If you are looking to relocate to the Houston area and are unsure of where to begin with the neighborhoods, feel free to message me. I'd love to help you further your research. So I usually do a lot of videos about the master plan communities here and new home neighborhoods, but today I thought I would do a little bit of a different video and go over some things to look out for and some preliminary research you should do before you begin building your home, not only to make sure that you are making a good and wise investment, but also to help hopefully give a better resale value with your new home construction. So let's get started. Tip number one, research the area. Even before you begin building the house, as far as location goes, the first thing to consider is convenience. Is the location not only convenient for you, but perhaps even a future buyer? What is around the area? What will be around the area? Which brings me to the next one, which is future development or current development. What kind of commercial and shopping is around the area? Is there a grocery store nearby? Will there be a grocery store nearby? It's just really important to know for resale value what is to come in that area. Another thing to look for in the location is the resale trends of that area. Whether you're buying a resale home or a new construction home, it is always important that you or a realtor look at the resale trends in the area to make sure that the home you are buying is going to hold its value after it is built. Another thing to consider with location is the accessibility of the neighborhood. Is it near roads and highways that are convenient, have good access to get to and from different popular areas in the city? Tip number two is to research the developer. Just as it is important to research the builder, you should also research the developer, especially if it is a big neighborhood or a master plan community. You are going to want to know what the reputation is of this developer, what kind of projects they've done in the past, and also what amenities they plan to put in or have already put in. This is going to help understand the future value of your home and the area. So you just want to know what the developer's plans are. You want to know their reputation, what they plan to do with the community in the past and in the future. Sometimes they want to put rental communities in, sometimes they want to put commercial, and you also want to know what other builders are going to be building in that neighborhood, which could bring the value up or down. Tip number three I have is to research the schools in the area. Of course, this is a very personal preference, and you should do your own research on what kind of school you need and want for you and your family. But even if you do not have children, it is important to know that a home in a good school district usually has a better resale value. When building a house, sometimes the house could be zoned for a particular school or district, and as they continue to build, the house could get rezoned for an entire different district. So it is important to not only research this ahead of time, but also ask what the future plans are for the schooling in that area. Now we'll kind of move on to the builder side of things, and tip number four is to research the builder. This one is kind of obvious, but it is so important to make sure the investment you're going to make is done with quality and care. There are many ways to research the builder. You can talk to them, you can ask for reviews. You can also look online on Google and social media for people's personal reviews. And there are also several websites you can use to research builders. There is Trustpilot. You know, it's not only important to you as the future homeowner, but it might also be important to you as the future seller of your house, because the next buyer will also want to know who the builder is and what their reputation is for their home build. Tip number five when it comes to building a home is don't create the priciest home in the neighborhood. When you are home shopping to build a new home construction, your best bet is typically to go with the house kind of in the middle. You do not want the house that is the most expensive with the most upgrades, because when you go to resell that home, if everything in the neighborhood is much lower than your house, some buyers may be reluctant to buy a house that may seem overpriced for the neighborhood. So when you are choosing a house, try to get things that are in the middle and do not overdo it on the upgrades and things that you choose to add to the house. Tip number 6 kind of goes with tip number 5, but it is to build with trends in mind. Of course, you want to make this your own house and your own style and make sure that it is perfect for you, but for a resale perspective, it is important to keep in mind what the current trends and colors are and what future buyers will be looking for in a house. As far as upgrades go, typically the best value for your money when it comes to new builds is adding square footage, upgrading the kitchen, and upgrading the flooring. The good thing is that most home builders are researching these trends far ahead, and they're kind of the trendsetters for these things. So they're not going to have too many choices that are not up to date or going forward with today's trends. And lastly, tip number 7 is the cost. Sometimes, particularly in the larger neighborhoods or the new master plan communities, especially in the Houston areas and especially in the underdeveloped areas or the newer areas of town, the tax rates can be particularly higher than some of the other areas. On average, you are looking anywhere between 3 and 3.7% of a tax rate in these new home communities. And also with that, in these communities with a lot of amenities come higher HOA fees. So you just want to make sure that before you begin building, you have a true understanding of what the property taxes are, as well as the HOA fees and any other additional fees that community will have. So these are just some ideas to know when building a new home. Keep in mind, using a realtor to represent you in a new home transaction typically does not cost you anything as the buyer. Using a realtor will ensure your best interests are represented, not only during the home building process and transaction, but also in the preliminary process of finding a home and a location and the resale trends in whatever area you are looking to build a new construction home. As always, if you were looking to move to the area, feel free to message me anytime. I'd love to help you further your research. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.